Hello, my name is Angel Carbonda, and today I will be presenting my research on the accredited artist Nicholas Party and his gallery Dead Fish. Nicholas Party is a Swiss-born visual artist that incorporates art into every part of his life as he enjoys an immersive experience. He lives in New York City and showcases most of his work between there and Brussels, moving back and forth from the US to Europe for his showcases. He has equipped in many major museums under his belt. The museums include the Hirshhorn Museum in Washington, D.C., Magazine Museum for Contemporary Art in Stockholm, Sweden, the Flag Artists Foundation in New York City, and Hammer Museum in LA. Major art magazines his art has been published in include the Art Forum, Frieze, Art News, Opula, Smithsonian Magazine, and Flash Art. Nicholas is critically recognized for his art depicting traditional subjects like landscapes, self-portraits, animals, while weaving in his modern art style of altered colors and non-conforming timelines. His artistic depictions have a surreal style with a dreamlike atmosphere. In his adolescence, he did landscape paintings of the beautiful muse in Switzerland, where he grew up, but with spray cans. After getting his master's in Glasgow School of Art, he picked up oil paints and further developed his technique. He's recognized for staying true to the classical genre of painting, landscapes, fruit, self-portraits, but while removing a key aspect of reality from it, using dramatic vivid colors, flipped color palettes, and immersive exhibits. The gallery I attended was Dead Fish at Karma in Chelsea off 549 West and 26th Street. This ran from January 6th to February 14th. The gallery space was one of a kind with an open, empty field. The walls felt bare with a solid light peachy color, and many tiny paintings arranged perfectly in a line. The arched doorways made the gallery space feel that much grander and the paintings that much smaller. Partey's view blended together the traditional subjects with his own surreal and modernist twist, allowing the work to be based in a well-respected technique, yet give the artwork a fresh feel. This perfectly represents 2026 in many ways. In 2026, many old trends have since similarly resurfaced with a slight change in the overall product. The Y2K low-rise jeans have resurfaced with a more clean look, which has made it more minimalistic. Another trend are the digital cameras that have been rebranded with different lenses to feel raw and real. I chose Party for this very reason of pulling from the historical influences with his own twist of a revival, perfectly encapsulating the zeitgeist of the era. This is the first example of Party designs applied to the creative process. This painting is an ode to the traditional paintings on a fruit with an artistic twist on it. Although the subject is pulled from traditional influence, the fruit doesn't look like it usually does. It's limp and in various colors of the same shape in different sizes. It's as if it's an alternative reality to the traditional fruit bowls. The audience must be people who appreciate traditional art but are also open to new perspectives. The audience for this art could be pulled from the Fauvist era in 1905 due to the extreme colors, or even surrealism from the 1920s for its dreamlike twist. The traditional painting was done by Rubens Peale and shows how his work is nothing like it. As mentioned by Party himself, he pulled inspiration from this Picasso painting called Tutti di Fan. Picasso's depiction on the right displays an extremely deformed woman in his round cubist format. You can make out certain features, however, the key takeaway from the art is the style that focuses is the style that focuses more on how it makes you feel. Party's art does the exact same thing, where everything is reimagined not exactly as they appear, but their essence to perceive them differently. Like the very use of red in this painting bring out the fierce demon feeling associated with the devil. While both icons predict reality and socialism, possibly it can be seen as more abstract in painting technique, and Nicholas Party experiments with colors using oil paint or pastel on linen. Here's another art form of Party's that uses that traditional self-portrait style with the woman and a cat posing. The Party adds his twist is the contrasting orange shirt with the blue background and the purple eyeshadow and eyebrows, which I enjoy. He takes such a serious signature painting and twists it upside down. The facial features are his signature with the long nose and tiny lips, which will be repeated throughout the presentation. This bolder look aligns with the fierce zeitgeist of 2026. Here I'm seeing with the star of the show the huge dead fish themselves. This painting I didn't understand at first. There were multiple dead fish and they were in a pile, pointing to what I thought was the death of an era from before. Upon further investigation, I found that the artwork was actually a remake of another artist, Francisco de Goya, who strongly identified with the organism's demise. This makes fish's eyes being open on purpose to highlight their zero shape, and the equal three zeros on either side evoke a then emptiness. This landscape painting is a remake of one of his early works that reflects the traditional subjects of mountains and the open air. It pulls from one of his first influences in Switzerland, again with stark, vivid colors and crisp details. This painting is pastel and linen as well. He remakes his previous landscape art to highlight his growth and skill, and again pulls from previous art for inspiration with the twist, again representing the freshness and zeitgeist of 2026. This artwork is a more peculiar one with two cats portrayed to take a picture, but human-like faces. The colors are again extreme, however, one cat blends into the background, potentially to indicate how it's in the past, and then a more vivid representing one is in the front, therefore making it more relevant present day. This again could just be representing his art style as a whole, pulling from the past, but incorporating modern aspects. In this art, I see more of the abstractness of Hardy. He doesn't just implement eccentric colors, but also forms and poses, further pulling away from traditionalism. It is unsure exactly what is being depicted as a whole, but you can make out a spine, a butt, and maybe two arms that morph into a thumb and a finger. This is another classical landscape painting that Party pulled inspiration from his past paintings to remake. The vivid colors done with pastel and linen reflect the liveliness of the emotion he feels behind the scene. The lava floor is said to reflect an unknown future, and I can only imagine the red-orange colors reflect heat due to the depiction of a desert. Again, this plays on how deserts make us feel and is intended on portraying them exactly as they and not intended on portraying them exactly as they look. The final painting has to be my favorite one. The numerous colors in this forest depict the adventure and wonder if you're going into an unknown area. The white, abnormally large sun in the background can be seen to describe optimism and safety with the large light that it brings in, or it can also be a void that carries uncertainty. That being said, thank you for listening to my work, and here is my work summary page.